pretty chippy out there today. It seemed like there were some fights involved. How did you guys feel about that, and what did you guys think of your day as a defense?
It was smooth. I feel like we got some things done. Got to the ball well, and then about the fights, I don't know, next play mentality, reload, see how better can we get.
How much more do you like the joint practices? This is your first one, so do you like it more than just the everyday training camp?
Yeah, we don't relent anyways, but there's really no relent against the other teams. You get what I'm saying? We might take care of each other a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It's still us out there being professional, but it's better though. Get different looks and stuff.
What were your thoughts on Cam Ward?
It was smooth. You know what I'm saying? Out there, it's my job to stop him, so I really don't care if he perform or don't when he on the field with me. You know what I'm saying?
How did you feel about your play today?
It was smooth. You know what I'm saying? I was out there trying to get better for the most part. It was good. Working some moves off the edge, cut off the edge good. Take the little stuff.
Is there anything more you can work on move-wise when you're going up against someone that hasn't been going up against you for weeks? Like you've kind of tried things a little bit differently. They can't predict you in certain ways, things like that.
Yeah, I really like to set everything up on speed. I feel like you get out the ball well. Everything else will handle itself.
How do you feel like camp's going for you, just in general, adjustment to this level?
Good. Picking up the game speed. I feel like as long as you're playing with your eyes, it slow down for you. So just trying to focus on that.
James, early on in camp, we talked a lot about you and Jalen and your relationship and how you guys can learn from each other. Now that we're a couple weeks into camp, how do you feel like that relationship has grown, and what have you learned from Jalen?
Just different. Like looking on the other side, just seeing him over there. You feel me? That gave me a little boost. Just get off the ball harder, racing to the quarterback for the most part.
Do you guys have any friendly competitions between the two of you?
We for sure trying to get to the quarterback. So whoever get that first, we're gonna cheer each other on. However that go.
What'd you get out of the day that was different from the first preseason game?
Today that was different from the preseason game? No, it's still ball. Ball gonna be the same for the next 100 years, you know what I'm saying, whether I'm playing or not. So just trying to get better.
I know you've talked about the little things that you want to get better at. Specifically, what are those?
Just, I don't know, reading the sets better, playing with my hands better, for the most part.
Is that something that you talk with Nate Ollie about a lot?
Ja, just stand on my track, you know what I'm saying, stand on my track, take what he gives me, be confident in it.
As this guy who covered you in Tennessee, have you liked being in Atlanta, kind of close to the area of the country you're already used to?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a down south kid, for sure. So I feel at home.
Has it been a good fit for you football-wise?
Yes, sir.
In what way?
Every way. Like I said, I'm a down south kid. Being here in Georgia, I ain't like Georgia Bulldogs that much, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? I'm back in my dad's hometown. Get to play for the A. It's a great thing to do.
Have you been told, are you going to be able to play in the second preseason game, and do you want to play in the second preseason game? Just how valuable is that for you as a rookie to play in that?
I'm good to go. I really, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't get to say so, but I'm good to go for sure. Out here trying to get better.
James, what are your thoughts on this kind of the depth of the edge rushers, the linebacking core, however you want to call it, with AKU, Jalen, all these different guys that are kind of plugging and playing at different points of the game?
I think it's good. It's good for our bodies, keep us rolling. You get to learn from those guys in front of you, whether me and Jalen in the same year, whether AK being here a little bit longer. They all got something you can learn from and become one, trying to get the quarterback on the ground.
Has AK said anything specifically to you? I mean, I know, without giving any company secrets, that kind of thing.
Nah, AK just a good guy, you know what I'm saying? AK always keep a smile on your face, you get what I'm saying? He do what he do good.
I know you weren't in the scrum, but when you see kind of a scuffle like that and your quarterback gets down the ground, you kind of get like...
Yeah, I checked on him. Everybody told me he was okay over there, you know what I'm saying? That's their quarterback on the other side too, so I just want to make sure my quarterback good.
In your opinion, the scrums, was it more so offense or defense that were the instigators?
One more time?
With the scrums, who started most of the fights, the offense or the defense?
Probably the competitiveness. We can't blame it on either one. It's just a competitive game, you know what I'm saying?
What have you gotten out of joint practice? What do you like about it?
It's fun. You're going against the other team. It's not your own teammates. You get to beat up, you know what I'm saying? You get to be a pain to somebody else, you know what I'm saying?
Describe the level of intensity. It feels like it kind of went up a notch today.
That's how you want to do. You always want to go up a notch. That's the thing about football. Always taking it right there, but not going overboard. You know what I'm saying? Always take it right there, but don't take it too far. You know what I'm saying?
What's a veteran like Leonard Floyd bring to the equation in terms of helping develop young guys?
Making stuff look easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He makes stuff look easy. It's like, damn, that's how it should look. You feel me? For the most part.
We were talking to Brick yesterday just a little bit about his vision and plan for you, and he said this summer he was really he made a concerted effort to tell you, hey, I want you to really focus on being a stacked linebacker. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about those first conversations about what Brick expected from you this year?
Yeah, honestly, Coach just wanted me to be at my best. Whatever position, I can head the team out with playing. He just wanted me to be out there, just play that role, and I feel like, I can fulfill that role, just keep competing with my brothers and going out there, giving them my all.
Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about the cross training that you are doing, the more traditional outside edge rusher that I think you're used to, but then also what you're doing with Barrett and that group. What does that kind of day-to-day look like for you?
Pretty much, just getting more locked down in the details in the playbook, because like last year, 2 years ago, I was kind of playing stack linebacker a little bit, but
right.
Like just being like fully time, it's been fun. And then with Coach Rule, Coach Holtz, they the best. So just learning from them and everything smooth.
Go ahead.
What do you get out of today that's different from just a regular preseason game?
It's really not the same. Every day guys is out here competing, busting our tails, and I feel like guys are trending in the right direction.
I asked kind of raw about the same thing that we're talking about with the versatility and you moving around doing some different things for him. And he said, his starting role for us is to be the barnyard bully on special teams. How do you kind of maybe feel like that relates to you, even in your own brain?
Yeah, I've always been the type of guy where, wherever coach needs me to play at, I'm going to be that guy. So, wherever I can help contribute, it don't matter. I'm willing to play any position, just helping my teammates out.
Who are more the instigators with the scrums, offense or defense, in your opinion?
I would say defense, because, defense more the dogs. No offense to the offense, but, with the dogs that's on defense side.
Watching the one-on-ones.
Go ahead, sorry.
Watching the one-on-ones and watching the individuals, you coming off that edge seems very natural. In the first steps, you see the difference. How comfortable are you there compared to playing inside?
I would say, it's always easy going forward, but I've been playing like outside linebacker my whole life, so just rushing, it's always been natural, been like second nature. But going backwards, I've been learning here and there, you know what I'm saying, but just take that next step, that's what I'm looking forward to.
What was kind of the initial learning curve that you're like, okay, once I get this, I feel more comfortable?
Honestly, just don't overthink it. Just shoot the gap. I feel like once the running back actually commit, let's not try to shoot it, but just trust my keys and just shooting it.
When did that transition really start happening? Was that during camp, or was that go back a little bit further into like OTAs and things like that?
Yeah, it go back to OTAs. When I really got introduced to it, I was learning I was going to play that position, and I was all for it. I couldn't wait.
Have you done anything like that ever in your career?
Yes, sir. Go back to Little League. I used to play everywhere. I was an athlete, so playing linebacker, safety, whatever coach needed me to play at, I was there.
2 days of joint practice.
It was great. I think our team got a lot better. Thankful to the Titans for coming out and letting us work with them. And at the end of the day, I really like how our team played.
Things got a little chippy on one field compared to the other. Just you chop that.
I wasn't over there getting to watch what was happening. I was playing on the other side. But at the end of the day, it's hot. Guys are out here fighting for roster spots. And sometimes chippy things happen, especially when you're going up against different squads that aren't necessarily your brothers on the field. So it happens. It's all right. I think every joint practice I've been to has had a day like this. It's to be expected, honestly, at this point.
What do you personally, as a veteran, take away from days like this compared to
It's kind of like a preseason game. You get looks that are unscouted, looks that you don't know about. You obviously plan for the team a little bit going into the practices, but at the end of the day, they're going to throw things at you that you haven't seen, and so it helps you to prepare.
Fascinating.
We know you weren't there when the fight kind of broke out with, Penix. Penix was talking about how he kind of went into another level. It wasn't like himself to kind of be in that. Did you see a different side of him when you came over there to kind of see what was going on? Or?
I went over after we did our 2 minute, and it was all both teams, everybody together, and you watch the offense versus defense, and then you go out and you do it. And I'm off on the sideline, and one of the guys comes up to me and is like, dude, yeah, our quarterback's different. And I was like, what happened? And they said, he was the one fighting, and everybody jumped the dude. I was like, All right, Mike. I love you, dog. That's my dude. That's my quarterback, QB1. So it's awesome seeing the competitive energy from him.
You're so shocked. You're like, is that my QB? Like, I'm just so calm, cool, and collected. You're like, is that Penix?
Yeah, I'm a little shocked. But at the end of the day, I know he's got it in him, so we're good.
Okay, you said something really interesting that I know that you don't want fights to happen because you don't want guys to get hurt, but you enjoy when you see that from your quarterback. Can you try to put that into words, what that can do for a team in terms of you guys bonding and come together when you see Mike do something like that?
You know, just seeing competitive greatness, seeing a competitive edge, it's just guys got it or they don't. And in moments like that, everybody reacts different ways. I'm not saying everybody that's a fighter is great and everybody that's not isn't. But when you see that edge come out of someone for whatever reason, whatever struck that chord in them, and you see it come out, you know, it just solidifies everything else you already think about them.
Is there someone on defense where you've seen, not the fighting aspect, where you've seen that kind of come out of them, where it's, oh, he's different?
I saw Mike Hughes today. He's kind of quiet, honestly. I love him. I've been playing with him for years now. He's a special player, and he's been playing the best football I've seen since being around him this year right now. And today he was into it. He was talking, trash talking. He was this close to fighting. He held it back, though. He controlled it. But seeing that competitive greatness from him on top of, you know, just the greatness on the football field is something special that I'm excited to see him continue to do.
What's different about Mike this year?
I don't know. Maybe I'll go ask him. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing it on the field, and I heard it out there today, so I'm excited.
We've talked a lot about the edge that the defense has had, like, just throughout camp. I mean, what does that tell you, like, when you start seeing that a little bit more in the offense? Is that kind of like an identity starting to form here?
You know, I honestly would say our offense has had it. Like, since being here, I think it really starts with the O-line, just the way Chris and those guys come at they come at you every day, like, and they're great, and they have that. And then, obviously, I think what's cool is some of our young stars are growing. They're getting older. They're starting to understand it. They're maturing. Bijan, Drake, Algier, KP, Mike P. Like, we got all these guys that are just getting out here. They're growing. They're learning, and they're coming into their own more and more every single day. So I think that, on top of our line, is a really scary pair.
You don't want to see, obviously, the fights, but how does that kind of help the brotherhood grow a little bit? Like that camaraderie, like, yo, you got my back, I got your back.
100%. You know, at the end of the day, this isn't war. Football's not in any way, shape, or form. It's a kid's game that we get paid very well to do. But when you're up against another man and they're trying to take your head off, you're trying to take theirs, there's a competitiveness to it. And when it gets over and it spills over, you know, you're going to battle with your boys and you got each other's back.
Rick was talking yesterday about role clarity, and that's something that was very important to him when he got here. He wanted people to be masters of something. How do you think that's really going to help this defense, making sure that roles are really clearly defined?
You know, he's such a smart guy. He's such a smart defensive coordinator, not only as the X's and O's, but just the way he leads men. And I think that's such an awesome thing because, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. I think, you know, him coming in and really saying, hey, look, this is your role. And it's not in a, you know, minimizing way, but in a way that this will allow you to flourish and become all that you want. I think it's really special. And, you know, we're all bought in.
I feel like we've talked a lot about Rook and Brandon, and rightfully so, right? But one of the guys who I feel like has been a little bit forgotten in all of this was David. I mean, what have you seen from him in camp, and what kind of guy is he, just in the locker room and on the field? Yeah,
he's not forgetting with us. He hasn't been forgotten at all. He shows up on film every single day, and that's crazy because he's year 10, and he really is one of those guys that could just show up, show you it one day, you know he's got it, and he's on the team, and we're rolling, right? Like, he doesn't have to bring it the way he does every day, but he does, and it only elevates the entire D-line and the entire defense, especially when you go in there after practice and you watch what he does and what he did that day during practice. Like, he's such a special player, and I love him to death like a brother. Actually, since I've been in the NFL, I've been on his team. He's been on mine, and that's my dude. So he's such a special guy.
Yeah, you guys have a unique relationship. I mean, it goes all the way back to New Orleans. I mean, how have you seen him develop and sort of like take on a leadership role here in Atlanta?
He's just like, follow what I do, watch how I do it, and all you follow suit, because he's violent, he's ferocious on the field, and he's the type of guy that you can sit to and talk to about anything. I love David. He's awesome.
How were the joint practices for you getting some actions out there with the first team and so forth?
Yeah, it's been a good experience. First joint practice for everybody, but you know, first in my career, but just for the team in general. It's good competition to go against somebody else, get different looks versus you know, going against each other.
A little scrappy, got a little heated out there from time to time. Well, I guess it's all good if nobody got hurt, but what was that like?
Yeah, obviously, you know, you don't want those type of things to happen, but I mean, it kind of just happens. You know, a lot of emotions are going on during the game of football, so you know, you want to control them, but you know, it's part of the game.
You do seem very cool, calm, and collected all the time, but when intensity ramps up a little bit, what is that like for you specifically as a player?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like off the field, like you said, a lot more chill, cool, calm. Still a little bit on the field, a little bit cool, calm and collected. But like you said, once things are going, bullets are flying, things are moving around, you know, you got to ramp up the intensity. So definitely when I get in the football field is when things switch off a little bit.
Drake talks about that a lot specifically for him, is that he's one person off the field, he's the nicest person in the world. On the field, something switches. Are you saying that's similar for you?
I would say the same thing, but you got to have that switch. You can't be as cool and calm and collected on the field. You can still have some of that, but you can't be that person entirely. You got to be able to turn on that fiery, you know, energetic person when you get on the field.
What do you enjoy about being very much in the thick of a competition battle for that second safety spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. It really requires your best every day. I mean, every day I step into this building, I'm competing, not just against, you know, my teammates, against myself as well. I mean, it challenges me to study harder, make my body feel better, and I mean, it just requires a lot, and I'm enjoying it.
What's been the jump to the NFL been like, especially when you have the best safety in the league that you get to look after every day?
I'd say my mental has been challenged a lot. You know, it's been a grind. You know, you come from college, you're the guy, you're the man. You come in here and then you step foot with best safety in the NFL, and so it's a big jump. But I mean, it's been awesome having Jesse. He's just such a good leader and a good teammate, good person.
How do you feel the communication was out there today against another team, running motions, running different releases, things like that?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, our offense, they've been challenging us because they motion a lot. So I mean, all through camp, we've been getting some looks that we might not ever see during the regular season. So I mean, it's been good to get those adjustments out the way, and then we go against offense like Tennessee, where there's a little bit not as much motion. It's been a lot easier.
And with more bunch sets kind of happening throughout the league, like how much are you stressing those moments when you're in man coverage? There's three guys, we got different levels, we're communicating who's got who.
Yeah, I mean, they've been harping on us a lot, like I said, especially we had a meeting about it today, you know, just getting on different levels when we're on man coverage, those bunches. I mean, I haven't stepped foot in the league, so I don't know how the bunches work in the NFL or how much they appear, but I mean, obviously football's football, but you know, when you're man-to-man, you want to be on different levels and all those adjustments.
Hey, Xavier, Jesse said you started talking to him in the meetings now. That's a sign of you being more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I came in, it was a little shy. You know, you don't know what to expect, but I mean, like I said, it's a lot of good dudes. They're very welcoming, so I've been opening up a little bit. Ain't fully opened up yet, but, you know, talking a little bit more.
Which drill did you feel you got the most work? 11 on 11, red zone?
Honestly, I feel like all the 11 on 11s, all those team periods, I mean, it's real competitive. Like I said, we've been going against our offense. So it's obviously intensity, but what you're going against, people that are not on your team, there's a lot more intensity. So just getting that real game as close as I could, mindset and feeling has been good.
And the scrums, the fights, in your opinion, was it offense, defense, more of the agitators and instigators?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in that field. I wasn't over there, so I can't say. But I mean, like I said, you don't want that to happen. But I mean, there's a lot of things going on, some emotions. So yeah.
You almost had an interception today. You almost had one yesterday. Jesse Bates beat you to it.
Yeah.
How did these plays feel for you specifically?
It feels real good. You know, when I first came in, you know, just trying to learn the defense. You know, kind of trying to do my job the right way and being slow. So now I'm starting to get a hang of it, and I'm starting to, you know, do what I do and get to the ball, playing faster. So those picks they'll be coming soon. So
if you do get to start alongside Jesse Bates, are you guys going to be competing to see who can get those interceptions, or is it just going to be whatever happens?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, just keep on working and see what happens with my situation. But obviously, if I get the chance to be alongside with Jesse playing this year, you know, I'd love to compete with him for interceptions.
Xavier, we've heard from Brick's Heart, Mind, Fist type of program. Have you been a part of anything like that at Notre Dame, where it's kind of like broken down in categories like that, and how does that resonate with you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of similarity between, you know, Brick and what I came from Notre Dame. You know, I had a really good defense coordinator, Al Golden. You know, he's mastermind, he's awesome. So, I mean, everybody has their sayings and ways they go along their philosophy. So, I mean, I've been a part of something like that.
But generally, when you kind of get those three elements working together, if you're playing passionately, if you're playing smart, and you're kind of hunting the ball, is that kind of what it all breaks down to at the end of the day?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, everybody has their different ways of saying it, but I mean, most of the time, it's kind of some of those core aspects are what I've been, you know, taught in. But he's been teaching it a different way, so it's been good.
We're so used to seeing Mike be so calm, cool, collected,
Yeah.
but he really got in there, got a little fiery today. what kind of is your coaching notes for him in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, we love the competitiveness, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I always tell him, hey, you're the CEO. You know what I mean? You have to run the show. Obviously, you know, emotions get high, and that's football, right? We're playing a competitive sport. It's hot out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of guys that are fighting for their lives. You know what I mean? And so, but at the end of the day, we always got to come back down, right, and understand that we got to operate the offense. Everybody relies on us to tell them to play, tell them what they're doing. So we just got to come back down, all right, and do what we do.
How do you evaluate kind of what he's been able to do throughout the last couple of days and really getting some true unscouted looks, not going against this defense that I'm sure are jumping routes?
No doubt. Like, we've been so happy, like, not going against, like, black and red every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun to come out here and see the Tennessee Titans, you know what I mean, who give us a different look scheme-wise, have a really great player in Jeffrey Simmons and a bunch of good guys on the back end. So I think it's a great test for us, you know what I mean? So we relish this competition, we relish the moment, and I think it's been good for us.
What's your reaction when you see him, like, your quarterback throwing to the ground, kind of in that spot?
Yeah, obviously you don't want that, but I take some positive out of it. Like, you saw the guys take up for him, and I think that speaks to his leadership and who he is in that locker room. You know what I mean? Obviously, as coaches, we're upstairs, they're downstairs. We don't really see a lot, but obviously he has a relationship and the trust of the guys because everybody ran to his defense. So I think that's a good thing for the Falcons.
There's got to be some like immediate panic, right, though, when you see him on the floor. Maybe like, okay, that's the QB1.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. But hey, it's football at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Once we start playing on Sundays, real in a couple weeks, he's gonna get hit a couple times. So this is his first hit of the season.
Obviously, that's not what you want, you know, when it comes to fighting, that type of deal. But, you know, when you see your quarterback there kind of in the center of it, you know, health aside, know that he's good. Does that kind of give the offense some energy, knowing like, hey, the quarterback's out there, you know, maybe talking smack, you know, standing up for us, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's funny, man, because he started off as a running back. So he always said, like, DJ, I'm a football player first. And I'm like, I understand that, but you are a quarterback now. You know what I mean? And it's an economic game. You know what I mean? These guys get paid a lot of money for a reason. You know what I mean? So availability is the main thing. But, man, it's all fun. Like I said, we're competing out here. And so it's fun, man. Obviously, you know, he's a calm guy, but when you see him like that and you see him fiery, it gets the offense going a little bit.
DJ, I'm sorry if you were asked about this, but because Mike hasn't had an opportunity to play in preseason games, won't play again on Friday, how much do you take stock into situations like this where you get these unscouted looks against another team?
Yeah, I think you said it. The key word was situations. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you're running plays against certain coverages, but it's a situational ball that we try to harp on. You know what I mean? Those 2-minute drills, you know, we did some good third down things. You saw we did red zone today. So really it's like focusing on like the situational stuff that'll come up during the season is what we really try to hone on.
And what do you like about the way he's handled it?
Yeah, he's handled it great. You know what I mean? From the neck up, like whether it be pre-snap or post-snap, like he's making some great decisions. You know what I mean? He's keeping the ball in our favor, and that's a good thing. And we have great conversations, whether it be right after the play or later on in meetings, and I think that's a positive.
Have you seen that relationship between Mike and Kyle and that connection grow throughout training camp?
Yeah, it's been great, man, because they talk often. You know, they ride to the games together, which is great. And I think that relationship is just going to help us out even more and more going forward, because obviously, like, Kyle is a talent, and we're going to need him. So I think it's good. Go ahead.
When last year did you realize that, like, you and Michael clicked on a different level?
You know, the first day he came in, you know, we just started talking, and we know some of the same people. Obviously, you know, Jameis Winston is one of his mentors. It's one of my favorite players that I've coached. I mean, we kind of connected on that, and then just talking, man, and just understanding. We come from similar backgrounds. He comes from a great family, and you know, his dad was really hard on him and was really instrumental in his life. And I come from a background where obviously my dad was really instrumental in my life, and I think we connected on that, and we kind of understand each other. It's a lot of nonverbal communication, you know what I mean, to where we just look at each other, and he just do this and I do this, and we know exactly what we're talking about. So I think that's a positive for us.
Kind of the coach's kid connection.
No doubt, absolutely.
Sorry.
Jameis and Michael are.
As Michael continues to come into his own as a starter, I'm wondering in what ways have you seen maybe Kirk support him in spite of like maybe having those competitive juices?
Yeah, look, it's a collective effort. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is supporting everybody. I always say, like, the quarterback room, people don't understand. Like, you have the starter, and then you have just a bunch of guys that's supplying the starter. You know what I mean? With information. So it's everybody. It's Kirk Cousins. It's Easton Stick. It's Emory Jones. It's T.J. Yates. It's me. It's Zach Robinson. Like, we're all in this together. It's a collective effort. You know what I mean? To help the Falcons win. And so I really look at it as a team. Like, obviously, we all are here to help the starter, you know, be successful and to help Mike win. So.
And from week 18 to where Michael is right now, where would you say he's grown the most?
Yeah, just command of the offense. You know what I mean? Command of the offense, he's more vocal, and just his leadership is off the charts. I think obviously it's hard when you're, the backup quarterback and you're kind of, just going through it and finding your way through it. But now it's your show. We're doing a lot of things that really fit your skill set, and so you can really have a command of it. You can speak, speak up when you want to speak up, and I think that's the biggest thing.
What did it say about him after getting in the little scurry or getting thrown to the ground that he wanted to go back out for some more?
Yeah, man, he's competitive. He's a football player first, like I just said, man. He started off as a running back in Little League, you know what I mean? And his dad was his coach, and he was tough on him, and so he's a football player first. But like I said, he has to understand that he's also the CEO, you know what I mean? And so that's what we're looking for.
How do you like the layout of training camp? You have preseason, then you have your joint practices. How do you think Raheem's plan is working to get you guys ready?
Great, absolutely great. I think Raheem does an outstanding job, scheduling, keeping these guys fresh. Especially, the starters who get a lot of work in practice, and then obviously, with the opportunity that the young guys get. Like I tell anybody who, is a college free agent or anything, when you come to the Falcons, you're going to get a chance to play. And obviously, that's the most important thing in the preseason is playing, because now you got a resume for all 32 teams. You know what I mean? So guys like Emory Jones, Easton Stick, all these guys get a chance to really get out there and play. And I think it's great for us to see them in game situations, and for them as well to handle game situations. So I think it's good for everybody from top down, man. Raheem does a great job as far as that's concerned.
To that point, it really is a hot button topic about playing Mike or not playing Mike in the preseason.
Yeah.
And I think everybody gets that. But something that Mike said, he was like, maybe if I didn't have the 3 games last year, it would be different. So what were indicators to you guys when making that decision not to really get him out there, at least in these first 2 preseason games?
Yeah, we just feel like, he gets enough work in practice. Obviously we go through a lot of situations. We have a lot of meeting time, and we talk through it. And so we feel like that's the best thing for the Falcons.
How long did it take you to build that nonverbal communication between you and Michael?
Not long. We both grew up in Florida. So it wasn't long. We kind of understood each other. We like some of the same things. So he's a quiet, reserved guy. I'm a quiet, reserved guy. So it was perfect.
Yeah, saying, not comparing, but throwing Jameis's name into that mix, those two are so very different. So the fact that you bonded with both.
Jameis bond with anybody, right? He has the personality to bond with anybody. So it doesn't matter who you are, right? If you're a 2-year-old or a 50-year-old, Jameis Winston is going to love you, and he's going to be your best friend. So that's more of a testament to Jameis Winston and who he is as a person.
So you're more like Mike than you are Jameis.
No doubt. Absolutely.
How much does Michael's injury history play into not playing him in the preseason?
It doesn't.
Going back to the Kyle thing for a second, I was talking less about the relationship between the two of them off the field, more so on the field. You're starting to really see that Mike trusts him. He's putting the ball where he knows Kyle can go get it. What about that have you seen kind of transpire?
It's exciting. And those things, you guys see them on the field, but they start way before you even see them. You know what I mean? They start when they, go on trips and take trips together and go throw somewhere that we don't even know. You know what I mean? Or when they're riding in the car together and talking about football, or in their locker room, or they're sitting in the cold tub. Those things happen way before we get out here on the field. We just give them the plays, but obviously, players take ownership in their stuff, man. And you see Mike and Kyle taking ownership in everything that they're doing. And I love it.
Hey, what did your dad tell you or teach you about your job in terms of how to deal with quarterbacks? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, first of all, every single day you got to come to work. It's a new day. You got to reset, whether it's a good day or a bad day, right? Every day you wake up, it's a new day, and you just got to reset, put 2 feet on the ground, and keep rolling. You know what I mean? Obviously, the quarterback is the most important position, and so you're going to always have to be on your P's and Q's, no matter who it is, whether it's a starter or the second string guy or the fourth string guy. You know what I mean? Those guys want information. They want to be successful. So you always got to be prepared and give them the best chance to go out there and be successful.
Who was his favorite quarterbacks coach during his career?
His favorite quarterback coach?
Yeah.
Well, Joe Gibbs was his offensive coordinator in Tampa, and really his quarterback coach as well. And he obviously talks about Joe Gibbs, very, very highly. And I think Joe Gibbs is almost like adopted him as another son. And I think that's his guy who he will point to all the time is Joe Gibbs.
We've seen the offense really throw the ball down the field, Mike specifically. Is that just more you guys putting an emphasis on more explosive plays down the field, or is that just Mike trying to take a shot?
I think it's just Mike and his instincts. You know what I mean? You're always going to have certain plays where you're trying to activate those things, but Mike is a very instinctual player, man, and he's able to find those things down the field, and it's really been good to see.
Did Did you go to your dad at all last year for advice when there was the whole quarterback change and like messages to give Michael?
No, not really. You know, I kind of, it's funny because he actually leaves me alone. Like, I'll go 2 weeks without talking to him, obviously, because he understands the job. And so I'll call him and be like, hey, man, like, you still got a son down here that's working. And he'd be like, you still got a dad up here that's working as well. You know, so it's a good relationship, man. But we try not to talk about football as much. Like I always like to talk about, so I have two sisters who play basketball. I have one that's at USC right now playing basketball, so we like to talk about that a lot.
Ooh, which USC?
Oh, the only USC, Southern Cal.
I was gonna say South Carolina. You're in Georgia now.
Juju Watkins, Southern Cal.
Say it again?
Juju Watkins, Southern Cal, right?
She is. Absolutely. So it'll be a big year for him.
What kind of relationship does Mike? So Michael Penix, of course, he has that relationship with Casey Washington going back to last year with the second team.
Yeah.
Is that really kind of played itself into why we've seen Casey be kind of featured? Well, not necessarily featured, but like.
I think similar to Cal, like those guys hang out a lot. You know what I mean? They're in the same rookie class, so you know when you're in the rookie class, you're trying to figure it out together. You know, so they come in, they spend a lot of time together. You're in the rookie seminars together, sitting by each other, and I think you've just seen that manifest on the field, right? Because Mike trusts him and he trusts Mike, and so I think it's been good for us.